Did you know that nearly 50% of marriages end in divorce? That's a staggering number, and many couples often wonder why. One popular idea is the concept of love languages. Introduced by Dr. Chapman, love languages suggest that understanding how you and your partner express and receive love can help improve your relationship. But here's the shocking part: studies show that nearly 70% of people still feel unloved, even when they know their partner's love language. So, what gives? Are love languages really the answer, or are they just a convenient way to label our feelings? In this video, we're diving deep into the truth about love languages. We'll explore whether these labels truly help us connect or if they're just a quick fix that doesn't address deeper emotional needs. Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about love. We'll discuss why relying solely on love languages can lead to misunderstandings and what you can do to create a stronger, more fulfilling relationship. Whether you're single, dating, or married, this content is packed with strategies and insights that can transform how you connect with those you love. Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Love Language Myth. Are we oversimplifying love? We've all heard of the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. While they can be helpful, they might be too simple for something as complicated as love. Relationships aren't just about saying the right words or giving the right gifts. They're about connecting on a deeper emotional level. A common misconception is that once you know your partner's love language, you've got it all figured out. But according to research by Dr. Chapman, who introduced the love languages, many people experience love through multiple languages, not just one. This means that relying on just one love language can actually create blind spots in relationships. Here's something interesting: a study published in Personal Relationships found that couples who focused too much on specific love languages often neglected other vital aspects of their relationship, like emotional support and communication. It's like trying to solve every problem with the same tool. Sometimes, what your partner really needs is understanding, not just an act of service or a compliment. The problem arises when we treat love languages like a checklist. It can be tempting to think, I've done their love language, so I've done enough. But love isn't transactional. It's fluid and ever-changing. You can't just check a box and call it good. Instead of fixating on love languages, ask deeper questions like, what do they need emotionally right now? Or how can I help them feel more secure? Chapter 2: Beyond Words, the Hidden Languages of Emotional Needs. While love languages give us a framework, they don't cover everything. Emotions and needs in a relationship are much more complicated. In fact, studies have shown that the emotional quality of a relationship matters more than love languages. A 2020 survey by Relate found that 86% of couples who said they felt emotionally secure in their relationship didn't worry much about love languages at all. Emotional security seems to trump love languages every time. Let's take empathy as an example. It's not considered a love language, but it's essential for any relationship. Being able to understand and share in your partner's feelings can often mean more than giving them gifts or spending time together. It's about truly seeing and hearing them, even in their most vulnerable moments. And here's a strategy: rather than asking your partner, "What's your love language?" try asking, "What makes you feel most supported when you're going through a tough time?" This opens up the conversation to emotional needs that go beyond just the 5 love languages. You'll learn more about what your partner values and how you can meet those emotional needs. Another hidden emotional language? Trust. Trust isn't part of the love language framework, but it's a cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Without trust, no amount of physical touch or words of affirmation will fix the cracks. Strengthen trust by being consistent, reliable, and open with your feelings. That emotional bond can be even more powerful than the traditional love languages. Chapter 3: Why Love Languages Can Fail. The Miscommunication Trap. Love languages can sometimes create more confusion than clarity. You might think you're speaking your partner's language, but they still don't feel loved. This is what I call the miscommunication trap. For example, you may be giving your partner acts of service because you believe that's their love language, but what they really need is more emotional availability. Studies back this up. According to research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, couples who over-rely on love languages without addressing underlying emotional issues often report feeling disconnected. In fact, only 25% of couples in the study said that using love languages improved their communication. The rest said it made them feel more misunderstood, especially if their emotional needs were ignored. Here's where strategy comes in. Instead of just asking your partner to express their love language, try this: check in on their emotional well-being. Ask open-ended questions like, "Is there anything I could do that would make you feel more appreciated?" Or, "How are you really feeling about our relationship lately?" These kinds of conversations get to the heart of emotional needs, which love languages alone might miss. One more thing to remember: love languages can change over time. Just because your partner once craved physical touch doesn't mean it's still their main need. Life events, like stress, career changes, or family dynamics, can shift what someone needs to feel loved. Keep the conversation going. Relationships thrive when partners adapt to each other's evolving needs. If you're finding value in this discussion, don't forget to subscribe for more insights and tips on building stronger relationships. Chapter 4: Tailoring Love. How individual growth transforms relationships. It's easy to think once you understand your partner's love language, you've hit a sweet spot. But here's the catch: people grow and change. What made your partner feel loved 5 years ago might not be the same today. According to a Harvard Business Review study, over 60% of people experience major personality changes throughout adulthood. That means love needs to be flexible. Instead of sticking strictly to love languages, try focusing on personal growth. As each of you evolves, so should your relationship. The strategy here is to regularly check in with your partner. A simple "what's been on your mind lately?" can uncover shifts in their emotional needs. Here's an example: your partner might have once loved physical touch, but after a stressful period at work, they now need more emotional support or space. By being attuned to these changes, you'll avoid frustration and miscommunication. And this isn't just theory. A 2021 study in the Journal of Marriage and Family found that couples who embraced each other's personal growth reported higher satisfaction in their relationships. Think about it like this: your relationship is like a garden. You can't just plant a few seeds and walk away. You need to water it, tend to it, and sometimes change the soil. Growth is ongoing, and so is love. Stay curious about your partner's evolving needs and interests. Regular conversations about personal development can strengthen your connection more than sticking to one rigid love language. Chapter 5: Emotional Compatibility versus Love Languages. What truly matters? While love languages can be a useful tool, emotional compatibility is often what makes or breaks a relationship. Research from the Chapman Institute reveals that couples who are emotionally in sync are more likely to stay together, regardless of how well they align with love languages. Emotional compatibility involves shared values, mutual respect, and understanding each other's core emotional needs. Here's the thing: love languages can sometimes give the illusion of emotional compatibility. You might be doing all the right things, giving gifts, offering words of affirmation, but if you're not emotionally aligned, it won't matter. That's why you need to dig deeper. Start by having meaningful conversations about your emotional priorities. One strategy is to explore each other's emotional triggers and stressors. Knowing how your partner reacts to stress can help you better support them in ways love languages alone can't. For example, one partner may crave reassurance during tough times, while the other needs space to process their feelings. These emotional needs often go beyond simple acts of service or physical touch. A 2019 study in emotion found that couples who felt emotionally compatible were 40% more likely to report relationship satisfaction than those who focus solely on expressing love in specific ways. Emotional compatibility involves being attuned to each other's inner world, not just performing love through acts or words. If you enjoyed this content and want to learn more about building lasting connections, make sure to subscribe for more valuable insights and tips.